Okay, so we're here with more Nier.
And it's time.
We're here. We're near. Something.
We get a deal with it.
Yeah. Get fucking used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
is it queer that we're here with you?
I mean, it's a little queer, but only in the Shakespearean sense.
Mm-hmm. No homo.
So, do I have an objective? Oh, is it go back to the tower? I think I mentioned this before, but the map in this game is kind of crap.
Yeah. Well.
All right, so I guess I'm going back to the big tower. Anyway, so the thing I wanted to talk about with Ready Player One is there's a thing I really, really profoundly hate about the main character.
Okay.
And it also reflects very poorly on the author as a writer. But the thing is, it is entirely possible that he has done this so that it will be addressed later in the book, and there will be actual payoff. And so I'm conflicted in my feelings about that.
Huh. Well, I mean, I guess all's well that ends well.
Well, it's just like if he is actually setting it up so that this becomes a thing that the narrative addresses, it's a good move, and I respect that.
Okay.
If not, he's kind of a shithead. Because like the main character's like, well, I was gonna say personality, but really the main character's being is pretty much defined by his adoration for this sort of like this guy in universe. He's sort of like a Gary Gygax, Bill Gates sort of pastiche. He's the dude who invented, the world.
Okay.
And like, I don't really know why.
He's freaking to Kevin Flynn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of, yeah. And there's like this. I think I forget if it was before or after he died, but there was this almanac that was published. Oh wait, the tower's over here. There's this almanac that was published, which just kind of like chronicles like basically all of the dude's favorite shit. And this dude has basically built his entire life around that almanac. Like, he goes on and on and on and on
okay.
about how he's watched like all the dude's favorite movies and like dissected like all of his favorite like books and everything.
All right.
And the thing is, these are for the most part, this shit is not like high concept stuff. The dude was a nerd. He liked Star Wars and like,
right,
John Hughes movies and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that is what gives him like his sense of identity. And it's not even just like a him thing. It seems like all of the hacker dudes like in universe like kind of measure themselves by like how much they know about this guy and how much of his shit like they've decided to incorporate into their own lives.
Speaking of excessive references from before, I immediately thought of the episode of OG Star Trek where there was that planet that based their culture on some mobster novel.
Oh yeah,
that somebody had left behind.
Yeah. This is kind of like a small scale version of that.
Okay.
And this guy loves to go on about how this kind of thing like gives him purpose. Well, not even in so many words that, just like how his life has more meaning because of this, and that's also what makes him cool.
All right.
Didn't I get all the sub-units?
You got 1, 2, 3. Is there one behind the big?
Well, there were only supposed to be 3, because I did the 3 towers.
Oh, I guess not. There's little items inside on the nooks.
Yeah, I have to disable the thingamabob.
Well, that one is thin. Is it like peculiar in some way?
Which one?
One of those towers is like thinner than the others. Is that important? It's glowing a little.
Oh,
more?
I gotta hack him.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that. So my issue with this is twofold. Well, okay, my concerns with this is twofold. If this character is set up in such a way so that he is eventually going to have a revelation about just how shallow his identity really is. You know, being based on what is essentially not even a pop culture icon. He's based it on a pop culture icon who himself appears to only be defined after his death by his consumption of pop culture.
Okay.
So
I heard you like pop culture.
yeah. So if this is a thing he's actually going to have to confront about himself, that's actually a pretty good concept, you know?
That sounds like way too lofty for somebody making Wookiee references.
That's my problem. That given that
So you're saying that he doesn't deserve the gravitas he's trying to go for if he's making like stupid...
No. My concern is that's not what's going to happen at all. That this guy legitimately just thinks that, you know, having your conversation be, you know, asteroids, Home Alone, Star Wars, you know, references like at nauseum.
Yeah.
Like legitimately just makes you cool.
Well, I mean, nerds are cool. But, I like them.
Yeah, but like this guy is such a shithead. like that's the thing. Like if he did this legitimately, or if he did this with the intention of this being like a sort of a journey of self-discovery, and you know the guy learns that, you know, there should be more to his identity than somebody else's like favorite like comic books and shit.
Yeah,
like that's respectable. I can get behind that. But I'm genuinely afraid that the moral of the story really is just going to be like, I'm super cool because I like shit from the 80s.
Yeah, I'm an 80s nerd.
Yeah, and there's going to be nothing more to it. And if that's the case, I'm going to be profoundly disappointed because the allure that there might be some method to the madness
is keeping you hooked.
That's the only thing, not even hooked. That's the only thing that's keeping me kind of interested.
Oh, okay.
And I'm glad I finished that rant before this happened.
What are you two doing here?
Now the cool shit happens.
9S, we've been expecting you.
But you fixed him. Oh.
See, this is a deliberate fake out. Because in OG Nier, you end up having to fight you end up having to fight their predecessors.
Oh, cool.
In a very similar fashion.
So are the items around the backside of the tower not worth it?
I actually didn't...
Oh, well, you still have to bring the shield
I still
down.
can't, yeah.
Oops, I forgot.
Whoa, and they just wrecked those guys.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't see it, but there was just a field full of items.
That's what happens when, I get that experience when I was playing, Mass Effect, was Jack in 2 and 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that feeling whenever Jack is on my squad. Because you're like, okay, you see where the enemies are, and you're like, I guess if I go around this side, and then Jack just runs off. And you're like, where'd she go? And then there's a bunch of explosions and dead guys.
To complete the reference to OG Nier, this is like one of the big songs from Nier also.
Oh, neat.
Like big battle music, so yeah, it's quite cool. It's also worth noting that those swords they're using are Type 3 swords, which are incredibly outdated.
Ah.
So they're doing this with like old school technology, which is just kind of neat.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about a sword, you could make it sharper. That's a bit.
Yeah, but these are, I mean, like presumably they don't.
Oh, made out of different materials, I guess could be.
Well, because I haven't checked, but A2, who is a prototype of the current Yorha model, she also uses Type 3 weaponry by default. That's what the sword I have on my back is. I
was just considering the possibility of a sword being, you know, outdated.
Well, I mean, swords are outdated.
No, but I mean compared to other swords.
Well, yeah, like I mean, look at Metal Gear Rising with the.
That's true. You're right. The like vibranium.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Yeah, the high frequency blades. And then it ends up being like a plot point that most high frequency blades are like mass produced shit. But
yeah.
But Sam has
the good one.
Well, his sword is a legitimate like Muramasa sword, like made by the actual guy.
Which makes it better.
Well, because it's a better base material, so then they converted what is already an amazing sword
I see what
into
you're saying.
into
Okay.
a high frequency blade, and that made it like super amazing.
I gotcha. Okay.
But if you do that, your circuits.
You know, I actually like that explanation, but I also recognize that it is one of the big flaws of the Katana nerd, who say that swords made back in the day are of a higher quality and standard than a sword we would make today.
Oh, of course, but I mean, like,
Yeah, but I get it.
Metal Gear Rising is like ninja nerd, like
Exactly.
like heaven. So
So I dig it.
that's the kind of shit that.
Yeah, like I'm into it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Pod DOS. Yeah, forgot.
Well, I also had a friend who tried to defend that kind of thing to me. Let's open it now.
Why would you open it later? Can you open it later?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe it just goes into your inventory. Because I have a part of my inventory where all the incriminating evidence they've been giving me about Yorha keeps going to, and I can go look at it whenever I want. Oh, right. This is the backstory about this particular iteration of Devil and Popola.
Yeah.
And it's also like a kind of a crash course on
Oh, okay.
on the importance on the Project Gestalt aspects of Nier,
Yeah.
which is kind of relevant to here. So these are not the Devila and Popola from the original Nier.
Right.
They are the same series of android.
Okay.
And yeah, their jobs were to manage the replicant system until the incredibly complicated shit could be taken care of.
So are they the ones we can blame for Kaine's replicant having a dong?
Well, no.
They didn't catch that shit.
Well, not this. Like, Devil and Popola didn't make the system. They're
Yeah,
just,
they were in charge of, like, seeing the bugs, though. They got past it.
But her replicant was made from data by the scientists who set up the system, not by Devil and Popola.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the eggheads, screw up.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, like, it was really something. Given Taro's inclinations to jackassery, it was totally like some scientist was just into chicks with dicks.
Did I? I mean,
and like decided to let that bug go through as a fetish thing.
Several videos back, I told you that in reading that publication, Grimoire Nier, Taro was like, the original Kaine had no dick and blah blah.
So we have a choice here. Should we check Devila's circuitry to see if it can be repaired, or should we replace the bandage and hope for the best?
Well, I mean, you're some kind of hacker. Like, check the circuitry.
Well, this is playing. This is from Popola's perspective. We're going like through their memories.
Well, they fixed 9S, so I'm gonna say circuitry repair is possible.
All right. We need tools.
Oh, okay.
None of which are easy to find in the desert. But
no, yeah, so the whole, like, OG Kaine was just a chick thing. In that same reference, or that same source, I don't know, tell me if I mentioned it already, but the reason that Kaine was a hermaphrodite, not lore, but the reason that Taro decided, let's put that in the game.
Yeah.
Is because, the out-of-universe reason why it happened is because one of his female staffers just and it made an innocuous comment in passing, and just was like, she liked Kaine and just said, you know, what do you think it would be like if Kaine was a dude? And then Tao just was like, eh? And, like, made her both.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the often quoted things from him to kind of explain his unique temperament is he once had an interview where he said something about how when he got his current life view by when he was a kid, one of his buddies like fell off a roof, and
Oh, wow.
he may or may not have died. I forget if he did or not, but he just thinks back to that, and he just thinks that in a weird cosmic way it was kind of funny.
Huh. All right.
His buddy falling off the roof and possibly dying. So, I'm willing to believe that. Yeah, sure, put a dick on her.
Yeah, basically is what happened. He also said, a direct quote from him says that when he made that decision, he didn't see it as a thing of consequence at all, and he didn't intend for it to be that way, and is surprised that it became such a huge deal to everybody.
I think it's because ultimately Taro strikes me as ultimately like a really good guy.
Yeah.
And just a little naive. And just a little naive in certain specific ways, like how the internet is going to react to things.
Yeah.
I don't think he properly comprehends just the degree of jackassery that the internet has given purpose to.
Yeah.
So the cliff notes from this are that after the events of the original Nier, all the other androids got really pissed off at that Devil and Popola.
Right.
And so every other Devil and Popola model in that same series got that same stigma. And was also hated.
Okay. Oh, so they sent it to the moon.
Yeah, they sent whatever, the little tiny bit they could find it to the moon.
Alright.
And I apparently picked the wrong time to explain that, because this is literally what I was just
Yeah.
I was just explaining.
So they're just wandering off?
Yeah, they're just wandering they're kind of just roaming the world,
Alright.
trying to find a place where people won't shit on them and try to kill them for looking the same as Devil and Popola.
Yeah.
Not sure, hold her up.
Well... They need maintenance. So supporting would actually be, something that helps. So let's go with that.
You didn't go for the lesbian option?
No.
Said nobody ever. They're like Gemini Man,
Yeah.
but they're chicks. Failure to manage the area. I mean, it was really due to a crazy guy with a sword going and murdering every aspect of the system. Not knowing the full picture of what was actually going on.
That is all that remains from their personal record during the era in which they were referred to as administrators.
Yeah.
I see.
Query: why do the androids Devila and Popola seem to prefer death over surviving alone? There was a very high probability that at least one could have escaped.
I hope you never have to understand.
Affirmative.
I honestly did not. I could not have predicted.
Possess an entrance at all?
If you had
All
told me
material
at the beginning of the
transport
game
takes via aerial vehicles.
that Nines
It is
turns into an
irrational
edgelord,
for
I would have said, "You're lying.
exchange
Shut up."
easily accessible.
Oh, you haven't seen anything
Hypothesis.
yet.
Oh no! I still kind of like him. Come on.
I still like him, and I like him because his edgelordness is actually really well justified. And I mean, we haven't even gotten to the real meat of the reason that why.
Oh god. Okay.
There's a pretty good
We
explanation.
just have to kill them all.
I'm sorry.
Also, he became a robot, like genocidal racist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I like that.
All right. So we're in the Space Needle,
Yep.
Corrupted Yorha units.
and that crap is floating.
You know, if we do like one more video, possibly two, I might be able to finish this tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll see where we're at.
So we're on like playthrough 3 of 5 or 4.
Yeah. Well, this. I mean, it's to avoid spoiling the format too much. Route C is the final route. At the end of Route C, you have a choice between 2 boss fights,
Okay.
and you need to do both of them to get all the content. But thanks to the chapter select system, I can go right back and pick the other one. Oops.
Oh, no.
I can go right back and pick the other one after I pick the one.
Yeah.
So, not a huge deal. And you actually unlock chapter select after doing one of the 2 boss fights, specifically for them.
Okay. I like their gaslight Nazi helmets.
I like that I knocked her off into the abyss. Sucks to not have a pod to pick you up afterwards.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, that's my headcanon for how he survives the falling.
Oh look, they made freaking replicants.
Yeah, they made 4B.
2B models.
There's 4 of them.
I mean, how did? Oh, I guess they picked up the body. It didn't disintegrate or anything.
Well, I mean, all the data on it would have been stored in Yorha.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see you here. I truly am.
Like his crazy is coming into full bloom here.
Well, he has to keep killing the
Yeah, I know.
the girl he's in love with.
I'll tear you apart.
Every last one of you!
That voice does not match that face.
I know. I love it.
To me!
Or not.
So, I love this boss fight. Not mechanically, just thematically, it's just super fucking.
I think I actually would have liked it if he had gone into a very angry version of the actual soliloquy there.
It would have fucked with the pacing.
Right? Because it would have been interrupted by hacking.
Well, yeah, that too. Everything gets interrupted by hacking. Now explode.
Boom.
I leveled up.
So speaking of constructing things, some dad from our country, I don't know what state.
An American Dad?
Yeah,
Or a Family Guy?
both. He constructed it can't move, but he constructed it cannot move from point A to point B. It can move its limbs. He constructed a functional replication of Diva's mech from Overwatch for his daughter.
That's awesome.
It's
Enemies detected.
Does it explode? That's the most important function.
it doesn't stand on its own legs. It's on a pillar, on a little post.
I would assume it didn't, because bipedal locomotion is kind of impossible.
But you can sit in the cockpit and move the arms and move the legs and rotate the torso. And it's got the lights, and it plays Diva's voice clips.
That's pretty cool.
So it's kind of awesome. And it looks really, really good. Oh, is that going to self-destruct?
Yeah, they all have black boxes.
Oh, okay.
But that's not the black box, reaction. Otherwise,
That's what I was going to say.
yeah.
Like,
Otherwise, it would like nuke the tower.
that one was smaller.
That was like
The structure known
what's his
as the
face from
tower
Resident
has
Evil
opened
7,
its gate.
like
Let's
his
check it out.
bombs.
Yeah.
Lucas or whatever.
So why do the Yorha ones explode nuclear style? Are they just built better, or is it based on how much...
Well, it's to keep their shit from falling into enemy hands.
I'm just saying, why was that one so much smaller?
Probably because it was made by the machines.
Yeah, it must just... Okay, not built as good. I was going for some weird explanation, like it...
I mean, if that had been an authentic 2B, like the one I had been playing as, then
Yeah.
she would have wrecked me.
Oh,
Because there were a million of her, and 2B's a badass.
I was going for some weird explanation, like it stores up the kinetic energy over time, so the longer the unit's been functional, the bigger the...
Nah. I mean, like 9S contributed to the nuclear explosion, and he's new.
Yeah, okay.
Ish. It's worth noting that this architecture is very reminiscent of the architecture from Nier. Once you find out, or the architecture made by the humans, by the not around anymore humans in OG Nier, the ones who made the Gestalt project.
The corpse is likely a result of
So
your
it's supposed to
unit
deliberately,
as it advanced
evoke
through the area.
how otherworldly that
Yeah.
whole bit of the game is.
They bothered to make it look like bricks, despite that it's clearly just built from solid pieces of this white stuff.
Yeah, that Roman architecture.
Yeah.
I think it's
What's
Roman.
the purpose of this structure?
Unknown. Proposal.
Or is it Gothic?
Gather additional
Might be
data.
Gothic.
Someday I'm going to teach
I'm
you
not
how
an
to be
expert.
helpful.
Also, there's a giant hole in the floor.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got those sort of big windows... You stuck a couple gargoyles on there, I'd believe you if you said it was Gothic.
I don't actually know like what the, like definitive, like the defining pieces of characteristics of them are, because I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not,
neither.
I'm not an architecture major, but I think that's the kind of like thing I've observed the term being applied to.
Huh.
Also, you may or may not remember this, but this is the library from Nier.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Okay. I do remember.
And there is there's a pretty fun thing in here. Let's see if you remember it when I show it to you right now.
All right.
Because I took pains to point it out to you when you were playing
It
it.
is a
It has been a long
representation of
time.
a
Yeah.
library.
What's that?
A library is
Oops.
a data storage facility constructed by past human civilizations.
So in OG Nier, up here, this was the room that you went to go get your missions,
Okay.
and there's like nothing of consequence here. But
Yeah.
on the other side, there's this room. And as you played through the game, this room would fill up with little statues of all the bosses you killed.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all coming back.
Yeah, and so we have the exact same thing happening here. See?
Oh, that's cool.
There's the dude with the arms. There's the giant worm. There's that big robot I fought in the desert.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What's that thing on the floor? Is that the...
I think that's the mothership type thing I destroyed as the Goliath.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
Yeah.
what it is. Oh, look, and there's the singing robot down
Yes. I forgot her name. August something?
there. Shit, I've already.
I don't remember.
I've already forgot her name. Oh, and there's the Pope, the Pope bot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and is that the little baby king?
Yeah, and there's Adam and Eve right there.
I like that the baby counts as the boss.
Yeah, right. I didn't even notice that. That's pretty funny. Oh, and I think that's the Goliath from the beginning of the game.
Yes,
Down there. Yeah.
that's really cool.
Good stuff.
I like that.
So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. But we need to progress because the symbolic transition into Disc 2, more or less, of Nier was going through these doors to the basement.
I suppose we have to hack in to look at the data,
Okay.
yeah?
Well, I
Help
mean,
me out, Pod.
if we are going to go in those doors, we should wait for the
Yeah.
next video.
Unit A2.
That seems like a sufficient cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What's
well,
up there?
I
You can't go up there.
I think I need to go up there. I just wanted to see like where I need to go next.
Yeah. What's with the glowy books?
Those need to be hacked to be seen.
Oh, okay.
So, I think. Oh. There
Oh,
we go.
you can hack?
Oh, okay then. Then,
Since when can anyone besides Nines hack?
A2 can. A2?
Wow, this is really inconvenient.
Yeah,
you
this
gotta go
is-
up and then down
Yeah.
and then around.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I completely forgot about this. Jesus.
At least you seem to progress through these bricks faster than 9S did.
I mean, it's the exact same mechanics.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, these are interceptions of all these records from Yorha.
Okay.
All right, so I will cut the video here, and
This tower looks like a
I guess we'll do
data
like one
gathering
more,
system for
and
the
then after that
machines.
we'll make the decision if we need to go into overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really
Yeah.
curious to see what's gonna happen
All right, so we will see you guys in the next video.
next time.